God, these high school girls today. This world's gone straight to shit.
So they're just sitting around really doing a bunch of nothing. A lot of people are playing video games. People like myself are wasting time on YouTube.
What up, y'all? Ogechi here, aka Ogechi, back again. Today's topic is going to be sexy characters.
Not even just it. I want to get to us.
The Chudtaku tapes.
Oh, I'm a little nervous. Okay. Well, fuck it. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Chudtaku tapes. I'm Godfast, notorious VTuber unicorn incel, and I'm joined by Herbie.
Hey, what up, man?
J-Taku.
Yeah, what's poppin'?
And of course, the grandest guest of honor today, Ogechi. Can you please do your iconic YouTube intro?
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Ogechi here, aka Ogechi, aka Ogechi27. Born and raised in Los Angeles, California, West LA and K-Town. It's nice to be here with y'all.
Go!
Fuck yeah.
Let's
Kino.
go! Okay,
Kino.
gotta clap. Gotta give a round of applause for that one. That was
Love
fucking
it.
awesome. Dude, this is so like satisfying because like we've all been like watching your content for years. Like we've been waiting for like the next upload. So it's great to finally have you on, man.
Oh, for real? You've been watching my channel?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I especially love your Hong Kong film reviews. They're like very well put.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since I've reviewed a martial arts movie, especially from Hong Kong. It's been a minute. Just trying to find some way to do it and just go off from there. You know what I'm saying?
How did you get into Hong Kong movies?
Well, that's a good question. I got into them as a kid, as far as I know. My exposure came from one of the films. There was this film called Not Scared to Die, aka Fist of Anger, aka Eagle Shadow Fist. Jackie Chan was in there, but in a minor role. There was also the Bruce Lee films, like Fist of Fury and the Dragon
classic.
and Game of Death. There was also Snake and the Eagle Shadow with Jackie Chan, Ramon the Bouncer, Jackie Chan, Twin Dragons, Once Upon a Time, Chinese 1, 2, and 3 with Jet Li. It's a legend. What else? It's like I don't know.
Do you think
there's also Iron Monkey 2 with Donnie Yen. But yeah, that was when I was like very young. Yeah, as a kid.
would you like?
And I really got into the Shaw Bros films around my early adult years and my teen around my teens and adult years. That's I think around in my mid or late teens or in my early adult years. Yeah.
Do you think like fighting games influence that interest?
Wow. I can't say for sure. You know what I'm saying? Because I got into them. Because I got into both around the time as a kid. Like I said, with Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct.
Hell yeah.
There was also
90s era.
Yeah. I got into Street Fighter as a kid, but later on, more on like the MS DOS version of Street Fighter 2. I did watch the 1994 anime movie around as a kid. There was also Tekken 3 for the PS1. There was also Clayfire for the SNES.
All classic.
Based.
I mean, there's ever since I got into them as kids, I just became a fan.
What's your favorite fighting game?
That's very hard to say because I enjoy Street Fighter. There's also Mortal Kombat. There's also Killer Killer Instincts 1 and 2.
Do you have a specific one? Because like my favorite Street Fighter is probably like kind of basic pick, I guess, but like Third Strike I really like. But overall, like I'd say Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I grew up with that shit.
Yeah, that's classic.
That's a very hard one because I enjoyed the Street Fighter 2 games, the Street Fighter 0 AK Alpha games, and Street Fighter 3 games. So it's a little hard to say because I enjoy those older games, especially the versus games. On top of that.
I often see you rant about newer titles, and especially like people complaining about certain skins in fighting games, like how a particular female skin shows too much skin or whatever. What's your take on that?
Here's my thing about that. If you ask me, the sexualized femme fatale badasses, the non-sexualized female badasses, and the non-feminine tomboy badasses can coexist. In fact, they've always coexisted, especially in fighting games. So I don't see why those three types can't coexist.
Totally.
In fighting games and in video games in general. If you ask me, those three types of female badasses can coexist in fiction, period. And like I said, they've always coexisted. So it shouldn't be a big of a problem. One of the biggest examples is Toph Bei Fong from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and she's well liked by both men and so I feel like a lot of these cats that say that complain about that, they only see legitimacy in the sexualized femme fatale badasses, knowing that there are plenty of, like I said, non-sexualized female badasses and non-feminine tomboy badasses that are just as well liked by both men, women, etc. But
do you think it would be better if like they were all like sexualized to some degree? Because I think it would be more awesome, personally.
No, honestly, it's nice to have variety. Honestly, as much as I like
the cutesy innocent type, right?
Well, for me, as much as I like, let's say, Marshall or Talkie or whatever, it'd be nice to have some variety. I don't want to limit myself to just the typical stuff. I like to mix things up. It's nice to have, Marshall coexist with, let's say, like a Makoto from Third Strike.
True, yeah. Do you have like a specific type?
What was the question? A specific type?
Yeah, the like sexy, like directly sexy female fighting game characters.
Honestly, I can't really say I have a type. To be honest,
all arounder.
Because mostly because, especially when I play in a fighting game, I want to make sure that the gameplay is on point with that said character. You feel what I'm saying? And that character is well made.
Okay, I think mad respect for that, man.
Yeah.
Like, what was it? Like Vanessa
respect.
from like Virtua Fighter's really hot, but she's like extremely hard to play as.
That's definitely true. Yeah, I haven't really played her as much. I was much more focused on Pop and Sarah.
Sarah rocks.
And like I said, I definitely enjoy all three types equally, and I usually so I have no real type to be honest with you. But I definitely like to see. But it's nice to have variety. You know what I'm saying? Especially for me, the sex appeal ain't really enough for me to play a game. The gameplay has to be, mechanics have to be in the point, or otherwise I'm not going to invest much time in the same game. You feel what I'm saying? And this applies for a male character with a male lead as well.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like a lot of these SJWs don't get. Like they want to like complain about like the sexy characters and stuff like that. When that's kind of like what we're here for, and they want to like censor even like the non-sexy ones. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, wasn't it? I keep forgetting the one character, like the Korean chick from Street Fighter, the latest games. I think it started with J, right? Something like that.
Jury?
Yeah, Jury. Yeah.
The feet queen, right?
Yeah.
Ogechi,
So
do you like
basi-
feet?
What's that?
Do you like feet?
Well, I don't have much of an opinion on that, honestly. So,
Gotcha.
All right.
yeah.
What were you saying,
Yeah,
Herbie? My
that's-
bad.
Yeah, about Jury. Apparently, she was supposed to show more skin, but the producers at Capcom basically prevented that. So she's like completely covered in latex. So it's kind of bizarre. Like, how would it be like?
Hold on one second. Are you talking about in Street Fighter 4 or Super Street Fighter 4 or in like Street Fighter 6?
At Street Fighter 6, the latest one, she was supposed to be like really sexy, showing skin, and they kind of like showed her to include like latex area. Still, I feel like that's still creepy than just showing skin because like latex itself is like a whole different fetish.
Well, the latex thing, I know for a fact that they did the whole thing with the latex in like Street Fighter 5, but even then, it wasn't too bad. They even had showed the cleavage around 6 that I know. But it seemed, honestly, think about it. The left wing and feminist extremists and fundamentalists that complain about this stuff, they have this stuff. They're not the only ones that will complain about this. I mean, you had the right wing and Christian extremists and fundamentalists back in the 80s and early 2000s that complain about sex and violence and entertainment in general. In fact, they complain about heavy metal and rap music back in the day. Back in the day, saying it's the devil's the devil and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
They're the modern day church ladies.
Yeah, basically. And I basically said that we should both sides should be called out equally because that has a lot of sort of back here, and we say basically seeing that the whole bit of the first stand there with Mel and Mac. The whole Super Bowl halftime show performance by Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? So, and not to mention, you got both sides of the aisle complain about Sydney Swift, about Sydney.
Oh yeah.
Which honestly I wasn't surprised that both sides complained about it because I knew both sides will complain.
What's your take on Sydney?
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Honestly, it's like, it's whatever. It's
do you think she's hot?
But my only thing with that is that the fact that both sides are complaining about it it's annoying. It's like it's a non-issue. It's like it's a non-issue. It's like you know.
Feels like a distraction, doesn't it?
Yeah, totally.
A distraction from what?
I don't know. Maybe something happening other places in the world, Middle East. I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know. That's Ogechi. Do you know anything about this? Because I'm kind of lost on what he's talking about.
Honest. Well, like other thing. Well, I guess what he's trying to say is that like there are a lot of like important stuff to worry about how the government is trying to. A lot of these governments are trying to impose censorship, not only in entertainment but in free speech. Case in point, what the UK government is doing right now. Not to mention Australia with collective shout. Not to mention the United Nations, and there's also U.S. politicians trying to push this like online safety act, quote unquote, trying to protect the children. But in actuality, they're not really protecting the children. They just want to, trying to censor not only entertainment but also free speech. I mean, let's be honest. So,
who's they though? Because it's like, yeah, like the governments, but I think we kind of need to be like a little bit more like kind of specific with it.
Yeah, I basically said the U.S., the UK government, the Australian government, some certain U.S. politicians.
What do you think? Any of those like politicians and governments have like anything like specific in common?
Well, basically, for what we know about the U.S. politicians, they're trying to push this online safety app.
I mean, like a specific like characteristic that's like shared amongst all of them. Do you think there is one, or is it just like kind of pure coincidence?
Yeah, like a domino effect or whatever.
Honestly, that's very, very, very hard to answer, but it's very hard to say because as far as we know, with the whole thing with this Mastercard thing and not to mention with collective shout back in Australia, the UK government, some of the US politicians trying to push this this little online safety act. It seems like it's hard to say if it's a coincidence, but we do know for a fact they're trying to impose censorship as a whole. Not like I said, not only in entertainment, but also with free speech. And not to mention, we got YouTube doing this ID verification.
Yeah, it's complete bullshit.
Stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
So
you know what? Speaking of that, because
to say it's a coincidence, I think it's up for the people to decide. But as far as we know, it's like we should speak up against this. And the thing is, and it seems like the extremists and fundamentalists from the left wing side are realizing the hard way that censorship is not going to stop with just that will happen to them. Happen to, you know what I'm saying? And the most crazy part about this that both political sides want to impose censorship. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? So it's not so it wouldn't be surprised. So it wasn't a surprise that the extremists and fundamentalists on the left wing side of things were supportive of collective shout at first because again, they're so fixed, because they're, filled with puritanism and moral ground standing. But they come to realize and say, no, it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there. So if you ask me, censorship, and here's the thing. A lot of these politicians want to say they're doing this to protect the children when they're really not. They just want to use children as a shield. To control people. That's all it was.
It's always a Trojan horse,
and not to mention that a lot that this is why some cats aren't fit to be parents. It seems like some cats just want to be parents just to fit in, just to gain validation from people that don't really care if they lived or died. Let's keep on 100. It seems like because if you really want to be a parent, you should know that it's your job and responsibility to monitor what your kids are watching, reading, playing, etc. Instead of having the internet and social media babysit your kids. You know what I'm saying? This is all because, and it's basically the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s all over again because you got to keep in mind, parents back then, some of the overly protected parents back then were trying to impose this type of censorship back in those days. So it's basically just that, but around today, that's what it is.
Yeah, and it's funny because they had the whole YouTube Kids app, and they just kind of completely ignoring that, and they're just bringing it over to like main YouTube, trying to like censor everything. So I kind of want to ask this, considering that you're an African American, bisexual, autistic centrist. Like, if you had to like gun to your head, which one do you think is worse, like the far right Christian fundamentalists or like the SJW feminist lefties?
Honestly, they're both equally bad. So,
but like, which one do you think is worse? Because I think there's always like a sort of like grander evil. Because that's how like a lot of people say, "Oh, I voted for this person," because they seem like slightly evil, or slightly less evil. I mean,
yeah. It's hard for me to say which one is worse because if you ask me, I think they're both equally bad, to be honest with you. So it's hard for me to say which one is really worse.
A true centrist.
Because and it harks back to my point too. politics, especially American politics, is no different from gang culture and gang banging.
Hmm.
And that's what I've been seeing from a lot from both sides. It's like, I was like, I'm rocking with either side because this is no different from shit that I see that a lot of cats will see in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And
Can you
I always
elaborate
talk
on that a little
about
bit?
Yeah.
yeah, we have there's Montgomery Carlo. Yeah, he's in there.
Hello.
Hey, what up?
Welcome, Monty.
Thank you. It's so great to finally meet you. Your posts have been incredible. Ogechi.
Thank you. Most appreciated.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
What were
Ogechi
you
was
guys
just telling us how politics is a lot like gang banging. Is that what you're saying? I just wanted to hear a little bit more about that because that sounds very interesting.
Yeah,
I see a lot of ganging. I don't see a lot of banging.
yeah, for me, well, and the reason why, and the thing is, I'm not the only one that has this viewpoint because you also got Ice-T, and there's also Jesse Ventura that also had this viewpoint of how both sides are basically gangs. You know, the Democrats, Republicans. When the nicknames would be the Democrats and Blood Publicans or Reed Bloodlicans. Because again, the Democrats, the states, they're blue. The color is blue, and the and the color for the Crips is blue. And then you have the red states, Republican states, and that color is red. And the Bloods, aka Pirus, is red. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, Jesse Ventura and I see what's called them like the Democrats and Blood Republicans or Red Blood. So and honestly,
that's true.
And honestly, that's true. And honestly, that's true. You feel me? Especially the case
Because it's like obviously like the Dems are gonna be way softer against like the gang. Yeah, against like their majority like black gang, they're gonna give them like a slap on the wrist, and then like the red gang probably does like the more kind of low key under stuff we don't know about. I think there's a lot of truth into that. It's nothing in life is ever a coincidence, right, Ogechi?
Yeah, because not to mention on YouTube, on social media, you have both sides trying to wish ill will towards each other, and whatnot. And if you ask me, it's no different from a Crip and a Blood wishing violence and death on each other in the street. You feel me? So if you ask me, it's no different. No.
Do you have any like gang stories or like encounters with gangs that you'd be willing to share with us?
Well, honestly, I can't. I can't really say for sure if I had an encounter with a gang, so because I can't really say for sure, but I do know for a fact that I was born and raised in West LA in K Town, and that neighborhood.
Right on.
K Town, yeah, dude, I got that.
Yeah, and that, but specifically, 3rd Street in Berendo.
Did you ever meet a
Los
roof
Angeles.
Korean?
No. A roof Korean? No. But I have met Korean Americans that are pretty chill. Anyway, the neighborhood I was born and raised in Los Angeles, West LA, it is the hood. And it's active. It's also the home of the Playboy Crips, who have been active since the late 80s and early 90s. And also in that neighborhood, you also have, Hispanic, aka Latino gangs. You know what I'm saying? So I was born and raised in the hood. Because a lot there's this common misconception about West Los Angeles being like Hollywood. It's like, nah, the only people that say that aren't from LA, and they only they do come to LA. They only visit the like the nice houses, the nice and safer neighborhoods. But
where it's like the majority like white population lives there, right?
Or I can't. It's hard for me to say if it's like majority white, but I will say it's like in certain places in LA where it's like a little safe and whatnot, like the more nicer houses and whatnot. But if you go to the real West LA in the hood, it's hectic. It's hectic. You know what I'm saying, especially downtown.
The safest places in California have, what is it called? Place where you go to, synagogue. That's the one. Yeah, that's the safest places to go. I heard.
Really?
In California, yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, like, and again, when it comes to West LA, again, people have that misconception about, West LA it's not hood, it's not nice. It's like, nah. A lot they think West LA is like Hollywood. It's like, nah. If you go to these certain neighborhoods in West LA, especially on 3rd Street and 4th Street, it can be hectic. Yeah, it's hectic. It's active. You know what I'm saying? Because I was born, because I grew up in the 90s. I was born in 1991.
Oh, wow, real 90s, baby.
Yeah.
We got the OG song in here.
Yeah, because I grew up in the area, and in West LA, where West LA was active, with gangs, and you know what I'm saying, especially on 3rd Street in K Town. You know what I'm saying?
What would you describe like gang activity? Like what does the everyday activity look like? Is it just murders or like what's going on?
It's hard. Honestly, it's very hard to say because luckily for me, I haven't had much encounter with the gang, if at all. But I have have homies over there who were former gang members. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh yeah. And I left. You know what I'm saying? But it also depends. And the thing is, it depends on the block, the neighborhood, and things like that. And a lot of you have gangster rappers from LA who will let you know about how it is in these neighborhoods in LA, whether it's in West LA, South Central LA, Compton, Watts, Long Beach, Carson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of cats think that that the street shit in California is all the same. It's like, no, the street shit in LA is different from the street shit in the Inland Empire. And the street shit in the Inland Empire is different from San Diego. And the street shit in San Diego is different from the street shit in the San Francisco Bay Area. And the street shit in the San Francisco Bay Area is different from the street shit in Sacramento. And street shit in Sacramento is different from the street shit in Anaheim. And the street shit in Anaheim is different from the street shit in Fresno. And the street shit in Fresno is different from the street shit in Oceanside, and so on and so on. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the case of the San Francisco Bay Area, they don't have Crips and Bloods in the Bay Area.
Is it still a thing in the current time?
Yeah, they don't bang. What was the question?
Like, are Crips and Bloods still a thing in this current time, like in 2025? Are they still a thing? Do they still have influence?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
The Crips and Bloods, they're still a thing. Yeah, they're still a thing.
Wow.
They still do like turf wars and shit, right?
What? Where, in LA or in the Bay Area?
Just like Crips and Bloods in general.
It depends. Honestly, it depends because it seems like it depends on which neighborhood you're in. It's hard to say. I know for a fact they're still active, but I I don't think we've heard a lot of noise from them as much right now. But it's hard to say. But again, it's hard to say for sure. And you also got to be careful too. But they're still active. But And speaking of which, with the Bay Area, like I said, there are no Crips and Bloods in the Bay Area. But they don't bang cuts, so they don't bang colors. They bang blocks. You know what I'm saying? and that's how they do it in the Bay Area, especially the fact they
Like
got
blocks, you
drug
mean like
dealers.
neighborhood blocks, right?
Yeah, neighborhood blocks.
So you know how you're saying that like what was it, the I think like the Crips and Bloods, they represent like red and blue. Are like the neighborhoods like, are they like is there like a pattern to it where like, oh, this neighborhood is like super Democrat but this neighborhood is like super Republican, or are they just kind of like scattered everywhere?
Are you talking about in terms of the states, or are you talking about
No, because
or
you
just-
said like the gangs kind of like stick to these like very specific like neighborhoods and they're not like color coded. So are they like politically coded
yeah.
is what I'm asking.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking about that, how they do it in the San Francisco Bay Area, on how they don't bang colors. They just they just have bang neighborhoods, blocks, and turfs. You know,
Yeah, but are those places like directly politically aligned? Like, are there any that are like specifically like Democrat or Republican? Do you know what I'm asking?
in terms of in terms of just like politics, or just regular politics, or street politics.
Like the politics of where like the neighborhoods they infiltrate are, because there's some neighborhoods that are like majority, like you go around like well, it's like, you know, in California, if you go to a specific part, it's mostly going to be like Democrat, where if you go somewhere like Arizona, it's mostly like Republican. So is there any like pattern there?
Well, that's a pretty good question, actually. Especially when if we're talking about with regular politics, we all know with California, it is a blue state, but you do have Reds around in California to a certain degree. And not to mention, you also got, California that lean towards Republican. You know what I'm saying? And and if we're also talking about street politics, it kind of depends on the block, on what neighborhood you definitely in. And I think a lot of the old school rappers from the West Coast, they do a much better job in giving you the full detail on how the street politics. Now I'm talking about game politics and LA, and how that works a lot better than I can ever describe it.
No, majority of those rappers are like very like Democrat, like leftist, like hardcore leftist leaning, like Diddy. He was super pro Democrat, super pro Obama and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about like?
The thing is, back then with rappers, when it comes to the politics, especially in the case of let's say Public Enemy and the X-Clan, they're basically they lean more for the whole pro-black and the Pan-Africanism, Black Power, and all that. They weren't Republicans, that's for sure, but at the same time, they probably were critical of politicians in general, especially in the case of Republicans and some Democrats here and there. And they also have rappers who are just straight up apolitical, and they don't trust. In fact, they don't trust either side at all. They think every.
That's kind of like you, huh?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Is there anyone that you feel like really spiritually connected to, like Tupac or something?
I was gonna ask,
like a kinship.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask.
Pac, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely resonate with him.
Do you think that Tupac is homosexual?
No.
Because there was that.
It's been proven so that Pac isn't that. The reason why they had that conspiracy theory about with that is because of how he had that interview back in it was either in the Baltimore School of the Arts or the high school or college around Marin City in the Bay Area. and how he was, conducting himself, and things of that nature. Because I think the reason why he did that is because he knows that on how I think he knew how the system worked. They think, oh, he's just this criminal or blah or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I think it was
he was like acting,
more
right?
like, what's up?
He was like acting to like get into a college.
Yeah. It seems
Wasn't
like
he also, like-
it seems like trying to keep. What's up? Who
No,
said
sorry,
something?
it's just Tupac. Like he was in, like Herbie was saying with like the acting, and also he was in like dance classes and stuff. Like I'm pretty sure that interview was like taken in like a dance studio when he still has like his ballet flats on.
Yeah, like a dance class, stuff like that. Yeah. And the thing is with Pop too is that a lot of people, since he was in that school in Baltimore, that negates his street cred. When he never claimed to be a gang banger, that's one thing. And two, he came from poverty. And the reason why he was put into that school so that way he can be kept out of the streets. His mom put him in that school so that way to keep him out of the streets. And even then, when he listened to a song, "Dear Mama," he still, got into some trouble. You know what I'm saying? And and especially for the fact that his mom even though she was a Black Panther Party member, she also dealt with a drug problem. You know what I'm saying? And they were very poor when Pop was born. In fact, he was born in a jail cell.
I'm kind of curious. What is your take on like the George Floyd stuff that was like big, and like just BLM as a whole? Like, what do you have any like opinions on that?
The thing is with George Floyd, he had a criminal past and things like that, and that's true. That said, the way that the police handled that situation, it was ill-advised. But the riots that's been going on, it was very, very counterproductive. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Especially
Yeah.
the fact. The concept, the concept of Black Lives Matter isn't the problem. Its message ain't the problem, but the execution of that said message and the move is the problem. Especially with the founders of the movement being, extremists and fundamentalists. Especially
they're communists. They took like all the donation money they got and bought like a fucking multi-million-dollar mansion with it.
Exactly. And which very underlines the message, which is very valid and noble and on paper, but again, the execution, a totally different story. Especially when you come to find out, like I said, about the founders of the movement being extremists, more specifically, communists. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, or the fact that like George Floyd actually died of like a fentanyl overdose, and that it wasn't like the knee on his neck, because he had like enough fentanyl in him to like kill a horse. Basically, like he was going to be taken out eventually.
Yeah, fentanyl epidemic is crazy.
Now, honestly, I have no real opinion on that, honestly, because some say it was the fentanyl, some say it wasn't. So for me, until there's real concrete proof to prove either one, I don't have to say.
I think the autopsy already showed that it was like a fentanyl overdose.
Yeah. If that's really the case, then yeah. But like I said, Floyd, he wasn't the same, but the way that the police handled that was ill-advised as well. Also, so it was a lose-lose on both ends, honestly.
Do you think Trump should pardon Derek Chauvin, the guy who had his knee on Floyd?
Honestly, I have real. I can't. I have no comment on that. Honestly,
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah. And like for me, I don't support the police. Never have, never will. And at the same time, I don't
Respect.
support rioters and looters either.
I was gonna
So,
Are you
ask, like,
ACAB?
What's up?
Are you
You say
ACAB?
a cab? No,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
Which means all cops or bastards are bad.
Yeah.
No, no, I'm not. I don't. I'm not that. I just. It's just. No. Yeah. Even though I don't support the police, I'm not one of those people, though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think everyone has their flaws, but
I'm just simply. Yeah. I'm just simply not a supporter on the police. But at the same time, though, I don't support that whole ACAB movement either. Honestly. Yeah, I
we
don't
were
support
like
that either.
we were like
Especially
talking
for the
about.
fact well, hold on. I'm sorry. What was that?
Sorry if I cut. You can please continue. If you were saying something.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't support that AB or ACAB, especially for the fact that the people that create it are, are the left wing and feminist extremists and fundamentalists. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Yeah, I don't rock with any movement that's been created by extremists and fundamentalists, whether those said extremists are left leaning or right leaning. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
Amen,
I was gonna
brother.
ask about, like, since we talked about Bloods and Crip and their influences on neighborhoods. Do you think that they had a hand on the pornography industry?
No, no, no. And speaking of which, with the whole thing with the adult industry, I bet while the industry does have its flaws, that there's no question about that. It does have its flaws, but to say that it's demonic or that it equals sex trafficking, that's untrue. That's a very false narrative.
Well, are you sure
Especially
about that? Because wasn't there like some report? Like, I'm gonna give a little pushback on this, friendly banter, you will. But wasn't there like some report that's saying that like a majority of like the Pornhub videos that were titled "hardcore, barely legal rape" were actual like underage rape?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about that with the whole thing with Pornhub, the whole Pornhub situation. The thing is, if you ask me, the Pornhub, if that stuff really was on there, the people on that site should have checked on that and told them that the people that do upload that stuff would have got rid of that immediately, especially for the fact that and like I said, the whole thing, the pornography does not align with sex trafficking at all. But that's it. And not to mention, and here's the thing, the pornography, the filmed ones, is mostly a lot, 90% of it is with consensual adults. And which is why Pornhub should have been hard on the people that were uploading underage and not safe for work content over there.
Well, that kind of like brings up like a bigger issue of like what do you think? What's your take on like the age of consent? Because like I feel like that's always like a perennial issue, and like it's is there like a certain age? Is there like an aptitude test or something? I don't know. What do you think determines it?
Here's the thing with the whole age of consent thing. Yeah, honestly, with the whole thing, the whole age consent thing, as we know, it varies from state to state. But most cats say that the age of consent should be 18, because once you turn 18 years old, you're an adult. You're not a kid anymore.
But like at the same time, though, like the driving age is 16, and when you start to drive, you can basically go out and do whatever you want. But the drinking age is like 21.
Yeah,
There's no like real.
I'm talking about the age of consent when it comes to like sex. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but how do you really determine like what's an adult? Because one day they can say the age of consent is 12, the next they can say it's like 22. So like what we can't really determine an age of consent because they can just change the laws whenever, and we would all just be like forced to accept it. Because in one place where the age of consent is 16 and I date a 16-year-old, that would be normal. But if I do it somewhere else, like maybe like a city or like a state over, and I do it with like a 16-year-old, but the age of consent is 18, I'm considered a pedophile. Like there's no consistency with that at all. That's why like some people would argue like there just shouldn't be like an age of consent to begin with, but rather it should be more of like when they hit like maturity. I've heard some people argue that, and I wonder like what do you think about that?
Honestly, the whole age consent thing, it is a mess. But
Totally.
But that's because of the governors and the mayors in each state, city, etc. You know what I'm saying? Especially for the fact that when you look at let's say with drinking, for example, most people agree that the age of that should be 21 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like in other countries, like in Australia, I think the drinking age is 18.
You know what I'm saying? So again, the reason why the age of consent is all over the place is because of it's mostly due to the governors and the mayors of each state and city and town. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's also like a cultural thing.
And not to mention it's difficult for people to come with a common ground with age consent all day because the governors and the mayors, some of them they don't really know what to do with that, honestly, and some of them don't even know how to combat the PDF file problem. If we're being honest. You know what I'm saying? So that's why
they don't have Adobe. They can't open PDFs. They don't have Adobe.
Yeah, no, we're talking about the reason why I say PDF files is because because you guys know what I mean about people mess with little kids and all that. That's why.
We're on YouTube too.
Yeah. That's considered. Yeah, true. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah. So the whole thing. Yeah. The whole thing. Again, that whole situation with Pornhub, and that was all Pornhub's fault because again, they should have done their diligence on going after people that people uploaded non-safe for work content that wasn't consensual and it's underage. Yeah, had they done that, that whole situation with them wouldn't have happened. And back to the whole age of consent thing, it is definitely all over the place. It's hard for me to say to find a solution that can fix that problem, but I think, like I said, most people will agree again how the age of 21 is the right age for drinking. In the United States, with dating, at least with once you turn 18, you're an adult as far as women. And we're speaking of which.
But you see how it doesn't make sense? Like, why is it specifically 21? And that's like the age where, okay, now you're ready to maturely drink or do whatever, when 18 is the age when you are an adult and you have like more freedom. And again, like 16 is the age where you can drive. And when you can drive, there's a lot more freedom to have with it. And plus, like, not everyone that automatically turns 18 is going to fully be an adult. People live different lives. There's probably some 16-year-olds that are way mature than several 18-year-olds, and like vice versa and stuff. So you can't really determine like, oh, the second you hit this age, you're 100% fully an adult.
Well, that's what I'm saying about how I wasn't determining anything. I was more like I said about how it's all over the place, it's hard for people to have like a common ground, a full common ground with that because again, how all over the place it is. So to have a full on concrete solution, it can be a very big hassle if people don't know, especially if individuals don't know what the hell they're doing.
So what does the Ogechi solution look like when applied to the adult industry? Because you said that it has a lot of problems. How would you fix it?
Honestly, I have no clue. Honestly, I wish I had the solution, but I don't. But I do know
Gotcha.
folks who are in the adult industries, including Brandy Love, who leans towards conservative. She spoke up against other conservatives that are trying to do the whole ban on quarantine. If like and she will, if you know, she'll let you know about how while the industry isn't perfect, it's not like Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? In fact, there's a man Ward who left Hollywood for the adult industry. She'll let you know that it ain't perfect, but you know, she would rather be. She felt like she'll probably say, "Hey, it's not perfect. It has flaws that could be fixed and whatever." But she probably will say she'll rather be in there than with Hollywood, especially at this moment.
Kind of like how the U.S. government is. Like, you can say the same thing about like America, really. You know?
Yeah. You can definitely say that. And honestly, and you know what's crazy about the thing with with Oprah, like how the whole how she said, the Me Too movement and all that, but they haven't done much to people that suffer from actual essay and things of that nature. And speaking of which, Jay-Z was falsely accused of essay, and you come to find out that the accuser was lying, which isn't surprising, really, because but I will say though, it will definitely make it harder for women who are actual victims of that crime to come forward. You know, it will just muddy the waters even more. And not only the female victims, but the male victims as well. Well,
Do you think that Jay-Z is a member of the Illuminati?
No. I don't. I'm not a part of that whole conspiracy theory of Illuminati thing.
Are there any conspiracy theories that you believe in? Like some where like you can kind of get why some people would believe in it, because I'll give you an example, right? Some people like to make an argument for like flat earth, and it sounds like silly on the surface, but then you hear kind of some of the stuff you say, like, yeah, there are some weird things that NASA does. That's kind of like make you like think like maybe there's some merit into it, you know?
Yeah, honestly, I'm not a flat earther, honestly.
No, I was just using that as an example, like you can kind of get why someone would believe in it.
Honestly, I have no real opinion on that whole thing. Honestly.
Or more in general, like, are there any conspiracy theories that you kind of like believe in?
Honestly, I can't say. But I do know for a fact that when Charles Barkley said that how the Democrats and Republicans have brainwashed African Americans and white Americans to hate and all that. Honestly, I don't blame him for saying that because let's be honest. Because of about what's going on right now, you can't really blame Charles Barkley for saying that. Honestly.
And the CIA planted crack in the black neighborhoods in the 80s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of the adult film industry, what are your favorite top adult performers? Like, who are your favorite porn stars?
It's a good question. If I mean, there's a lot of adult film actors I like. There's Natasha Nice, there's Ryan Jackson, there's Gitsumi Naka, Ryan Louis R. Bridget E. Alba Adams, and there's Leona Vega, Violet Gabby Carter, Lisa Fire, Lazy Fall, Kelly Starr, Jim Fire, Brianna Starr, we love Lisa and Sarah J.
Wow.
Man, there's there's also Harley Dean. That like Rina Fukiishi. There's a lot that I like.
Is that JV? Like JV? Is that JV?
Yeah, JV. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's also a great question to ask. Like, what do you think about JV and the Western porn industry?
The comparison between JV and the Western porn industry.
How would you compare them? Like, what JV does right and what Western porn industry does right?
For me, it's very hard to say, but the thing is with the JV, they're more let's say story driven. I say they create narratives with a character, or it's a little hard to say because when you watch a JV video, you can tell there's like how different it is from there. You can tell some differences between that and like let's say a porn film like in America, but it's very hard to say to speak the difference for me because I mostly watch the sex scenes, but
So you skip over the story? Because I feel like with like Jab and Gravure stuff in general, there's like it feels like they're a little bit like more like tasteful, like and sincere with it. Whereas Western stuff, it's all raunchy.
Actually, that's actually true. Now I do say for the story and in porn, especially with JV, it's just that when you need like let's say a quick fix real quick, you need to I skip the sex scenes for but
like a quickie, right?
Like a quickie, that's what I mean. It's
how often do you watch porn?
That's a good question. It really depends. It really depends because even then, I put my focus on other stuff like watching a lot of the movie, a lot of martial arts films, or make some interesting posts, or or something like that, or playing basketball, or
So you don't like hook up the homies with like some like kind of like deep type like porn shit. You know what I'm saying?
We all love b-ball around here.
Oh, what was the question?
I'm just wondering, like what are your personal favorites? Like, what would you like recommend to us?
Like, what are your?
Honestly, it's kind of hard to say, but I will say I do recommend. Let's say a scene with there's also the JV stuff with Hitsumi Tanaka.
That's how I know you're an old head.
Yeah, Shibuya. There's also, like I said,
Shibuya Kaho, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's
also
a VTuber, right? Like right now,
or she's affiliated with VTubers.
I think that was
Kaho Shibuya. She doesn't do V2, but she does. She do be on those. She do play, conventions and things like that. Things of that
nature. She's been on podcasts. We should bring her in here.
Yeah, I think she would say yes.
Whoa! Female on the Chudtaku tapes. Let's pump the brakes on that for a moment. Let's have that conversation.
Actually, you know what? I don't want to get into it, but I learned the consequences of doing a quote unquote female collab. I don't want to get into it, but actually, you're right. No good news. But Ogechi, do you like VTubers?
Well, honestly, my advice with that, You just got to make sure you have a good enough relationship to do that. You know what I'm saying. You can't.
100%.
This can be applied to with another dude, dude having a podcast with another dude. It's like you just got to make sure you have the right chemistry and relationship to make it happen.
And make sure they're actually a girl too. That's very important. Trust me.
That's
very important.
Has that ever happened to you, Ogechi? Have you ever been talking to what you thought was a girl, but then it was revealed that it was not a girl?
Honestly, I can't really say for sure because I don't know if I really had that encounter. Honestly.
Ogechi, do you like
you've never
VTubers
been
at all?
catfished?
Oh, that's very quick.
Yeah, I enjoy VTube. I enjoy VTubers, but I haven't watched a lot of them lately because again, we're watching a lot of other stuff and not so much with basketball and other.
Do you have a favorite one?
Hard to say, but there was she was pretty chill.
Gargoyle, my man, Chumbas, let's go.
Yeah.
I think you would like Project Melody. I think with how her personality is, I think you would be a big fan of her.
Oh yeah, I know about Project Melody. I know about her. I watch some of the stuff here and there. Yeah, I haven't been around to watching a whole album lately, because with other shit. You know what I'm saying? But but I do enjoy that kind of content though. All right. I gotta get up out of here real quick. Just take care of some stuff and also chill out for a bit. I don't know if I might come back on Friday.
Okay.
Are we ended it here?
What's up? Yeah,
did you say you're leaving?
I think we just continue.
It's nice being here. I definitely enjoy my time.
Really appreciate you coming on, man. It was great having you. Great talking.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Great to meet you.
Yeah, man. Been good talking.
Catch y'all later.
Yeah, we'll see you
Later.
around.
Until next time.
My man.